Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, God of Heroics, and today I am doing my episode 2 review on Dragon Ball Daima. Now, I watched the episode a while ago, but there was a lot of stuff coming up, and at some point I decided that maybe I should do episode 2 and 3 at the same time. But after rewatching episode 2, I have a lot of notes regarding this episode, even though it's a pretty lax episode, and I realize if I do an episode 2 and 3 together, that it's just going to be a very long episode. And I don't know how many people are actually going to sit there and watch the whole thing. So I'll do episode 2 today, and I'll do episode 3 either tomorrow or Saturday. Anyway, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all future episodes. And without further ado, let's get started. So, first of all, the song that played at the end of episode 1 is the theme song that plays at the beginning of this episode and will very likely be the theme song for all the episodes. Now, it's a very common trend in anime where the first episode won't play their theme song until the very end, and then the next episode will have the theme song and then it'll have its own ending theme. Now, both themes are actually pretty good. Neither of them are bad songs. My only real issue with the theme song is that it doesn't feel like much of a vibe the way most of the other songs do with Dragon Ball or even anime in general. They always have a theme song that is pretty cool, goes with the visuals and all that stuff, but it's always just a song that happened to go with the anime. But this time it feels like the band or artist or whoever made the song was just given the synopsis for Dragon Ball Daima and they turned the synopsis into the lyrics. Still not a bad song, it just doesn't feel like, if it's like when you watch like American kids cartoons and like the theme song is like very on point and like very on the nose with the show that you're watching. It felt like that. Still a good song, just the context and all that just felt a little strange. Anyway, that's not really important. What I do want to mention is Mr. Popo has horns, and that's interesting. I think he might be a member of the demon race. I mean, him and Kami, they're like really close friends. He is Kami's assistant and continues to be the assistant even when Dende takes over. So it's possible that when the Namekians fled the demon realm, that he left with Kami. Maybe they were like close friends or something. That's always possible. So what I also learned in this episode is that the leader of the world, or the creator of the Dragon Balls, doesn't necessarily have to die for the Dragon Balls to be inactive, because Goma takes Dende with him so that the Dragon Balls can't be accessed by the Earthlings. So either the creator of the Dragon Balls would have to be missing from the planet, maybe, or maybe because they're going from they're going to the demon realm, that existing in a different realm is maybe what would change that. Like, I would assume if Dende was to like leave with Whis and go to like Beerus' planet, or even if he left and went to like Universe 6 or something like that, the Dragon Balls would be inactive until he returned to their universe or to their realm or whatever. So that's an interesting thing. Also, Lord Goma, or King Goma now, he wanted Neva to redo the ritual. How I mentioned before that he brought all the Dragon Balls to one location and then not purified them, but reactivated them so that they actually work now. He doesn't have the ability to do this more than once. Like, he is very powerful. I mean, clearly shown by the fact that he was able to do that in the first place. But he said that he actually can't do that ritual twice in a row. I assume it's just very energy taxing, or it's like very difficult to do. And King Goma asked him why he didn't just do that, in the demon realm. And he said that if he did, he would have to fight all the Tamagamis that are linked to the demon Dragon Balls for the ritual. So I want to assume that the Tamagamis are the warriors that are protecting the three Dragon Balls in the demon realm. That those warriors are like tied to the existence of those Dragon Balls. So if you take the Dragon Balls, you actually have to take that warrior with the Dragon Ball, and you still would have to defeat that warrior in order to use their Dragon Balls. That seems like what's going on here. So I'm sure we'll see something like that in play later. So another thing that people talked about was like the art style. They were saying that we got to see Kid Vegeta in Dragon Ball. What was it? The Dragon Ball Broly movie. and they're saying, oh, well, he doesn't look the same as he did then. Well, in my opinion, he does look the same. The only real difference is that there's a different art style. Like the art style that we've seen in Super, especially if you look at the manga, the Super manga has a different art style from the Super anime, and the Daima anime has a very similar style to that manga. So it seems like the Daima style, since it's Akira Toriyama's final love letter to the franchise, that they are using his new art style that he has settled in, and they're kind of just sticking with that. And I can't say I hate it. It's just a different art style, so they're all the same. Speaking of the kid characters, Roshi looks like Saitama. I thought that was hilarious. Like, yeah, he's bald, but when he lifts his sunglasses and tells Goku, "Oh, I'm Master Roshi," he looks very reminiscent to Saitama, and I thought that was really hilarious. Nice. I don't know if that's intentional, if it's like a little nod or whatever, or whatnot, but it's really cool to see. I loved it. So it is officially confirmed, by the way, that all the characters with pointy ears are actually from the demon realm, or at least their ancestors are from the demon realm. I think that's a little strange because there are a decent amount of characters and different races that we see that have pointy ears. So thinking that all of these races at some point just escaped the demon realm, I mean, it's probably why they have that rule where they say that they don't, they can't have anybody leaving the demon realm without express permission from those guards or whatever that are floating up. That's probably why, because a lot of races kept leaving, so they had to kind of set a rule there. Like, it's like if a bunch of people just kept fleeing America, like if you had Italians leave America, then you had Hispanics leave America, then blacks and then whites, and at some point they're gonna be like, yo, y'all can't just be leaving. You're gonna destabilize our entire area. So Goku and friends go to a lookout, and they're basically told of everything that happened in the first episode. And I think it's hilarious because Shin, Supreme Kai, he knows Goma, because he knows Degesu and Dr. Aritsu, because those are his siblings, and then he knows King Goma because obviously he came from the demon realm. He would know him. So I think it's hilarious because they asked Popo what happened and who took Dende, and he's just expressing explaining what the guy looks like. He explains it in an interesting way, but to me, I would it just seems like he's just oh, so who's the guy that took Dende? And he's like, oh, imagine if Peter Dinklage was secretly Roger from American Dad. And he's like, what? King Goma? Oh, okay, I know who that is. Very, very funny to me that he just knew off rip. There was no second guessing. Oh, maybe it was just somebody who's a similar race to Goma, or there was another short character. No, no, that guy was specifically King Goma. Anyway, so they get Shin's ship, the one that he came in when he left the demon realm, and it's damaged. It's damaged and it's old. It gives me the same vibes of the ship that they found in what was it? It was Piccolo ship, or Kami ship rather, that he came to Earth from Namek in. It looks all old and destroyed, kind of like that. But it's destroyed. And he says it's because of some of the stuff that happened. Goku's battle with Boo did some damages, so Bulma basically has to fix it, which it says it's going to take a while for her to really get those repairs done. So during that time, Goku is pretty much trying to get used to his small body. He has this issue with telling how far his attack should be, because he's used to being an adult with longer limbs. So now that he's a kid, he's trying to kick and punch and stuff, but his punches and kicks are falling short, and that's again because he's smaller limbs, and he still has to get used to that. So that's pretty cool. So in order to fix that issue, he decides that he wants to get the power pole, and the power pole he left it on top of Korin's tower at the end of Dragon Ball. And it is not there anymore because Master Roshi has it, and very disrespectfully is using it as a clothesline. He literally has his underwear and tank top hanging up there or whatever to dry in the air. I think it's a little funny gag, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed it, mostly because Dragon Ball has never been it's never supposed to be super serious. It's always been rooted in comedy, and I think it was a little hilarious, but also a little disrespectful. It's a legendary weapon, you're using it as a clothesline. That's an interesting thing to me, but yeah, it is what it is. So they can't really fly, not even Piccolo. Goku and Piccolo are both struggling to fly, so I assume at some point they're gonna really get that down packed. And I mean, because we see them like in the trailers and stuff, and the visuals where there's like, actually in the intro we see Goku and Vegeta are Super Saiyans. So obviously, one, Vegeta's going to be involved in this adventure, and two, they're going to be able to go Super Saiyan. They're also flying in the intro, so they're going to get a handle on it. It's just right now they're all kind of struggling with their new bodies. Uh, Also, not entirely certain why, but Bulma makes Kibito like very nervous. She keeps asking him to like, oh, can you teleport me here? Can you teleport me there? And it's mostly because she has no way of really getting there within a timely manner. Like she wants to go to her garage and fix up the ship and stuff, but she can't move the ship to her garage, and nobody else can fly or anything like that. So Kibito's kind of just teleporting her around. Um, Aside from that, I'm really excited for the return of the power pole. It's been one of my favorite weapons. In fact, bow staff weapons and stuff of that nature, like kind of like nunchucks and three-section staffs, they're always like my favorite weapons in a lot of anime. I also love like swords, so that's why I think Trunks is the one that really got me into swords. Trunks is Rurouni Kenshin, so it's nice to see weapons that I like making an appearance, especially when they're returning weapons like the power pole. So Goku asked Piccolo if he remembers anything from the Demon Realm, and obviously Piccolo does not remember the Demon Realm because he wasn't born. That was Demon King Piccolo, and all he knows is what he's been told, I guess, from Kami or from other Namekians, and pretty much he just says that the Namekians left the Demon Realm because they don't want to they don't want to be ruled as they live, so they left to kind of like start their own lives, which is why they have their own planet and all that jazz. So one interesting thing that is there's a couple interesting things here. So about 18 minutes, 30 seconds into the episode, Glorio shows up, the guy that was eavesdropping on Goma and Degetsu's conversation in the first episode. He shows up, and I think that's a little weird because like we're 18 minutes in and we're just not seeing Glorio, and it's only weird because the episode is titled Glorio. So the character that the episode is titled after, we don't even see until like the last 7 minutes of the episode. A little strange, but hey, it is what it is. But Glorio does give some pretty interesting, important information. So one, he knows who Goku is, and he says he knows because, obviously he was eavesdropping, and he wants help defeating Goma. Um, but Supreme Kai is a little skeptical because he's saying that he thinks it's kind of weird that Glorio not only knows who Goku is and all that, but that he's not even in the slightest confused about them being turned into kids. And yeah, I can kind of agree with that. It is weird that he just showed up, saw them as kids, and he's just completely okay with that. Has nothing to say about it. Because while he eavesdropped, he didn't see anything about them being turned into kids as far as we know. So, a little strange that he's pretty okay with that, but hey, it is what it is. So the ship that Glorio comes in, it's actually very similar to the ship that Bulma is trying to fix. So Bulma checks out the schematics of the ship so that she basically knows more of what to do with the ship that she's repairing, and the repairs will go by a little bit faster. Gloria also says he came from the third demon world, and there are a lot of people have been speculating online about this, like, oh, there's different realms to the demon realm, there's different areas to the demon realm and all that, different worlds to it. Yeah, I want to assume that not only are the Tamagami supposed to be warriors guarding the Dragon Balls where you can only get the Dragon Balls if you defeat them, but I want to assume that the Dragon Balls were split up amongst the three demon worlds and that the Demon King leads all three demon worlds. So, yeah, it makes more sense in my mind that there would be three sections for it. Kind of like the Illuminati and Marvel, how they split up the Infinity Stones into like sections, like Namor in Atlantis has one, Black Panther Wakanda has one, Tony Stark New York has one. Like they Doctor Strange, who's the Sorcerer Supreme, has one. It's very similar to that, at least in my mind. So he says it's a secret request, so I want to assume that Glorio and maybe Pansy, who we might see in the next episode, are pretty much the only characters that know about this. They know about this mission, and nobody else really would know, which is fine. Anyway, when they leave, Glorio, Shan, and Goku leave on Glorio's ship, and Vegeta stays behind even though he really wants to go. So I assume that when Bulma gets the repairs done, that because the ship's can only hold three people, that the three people that will be coming to that would be coming to the deeper realm in the second trip, much like how Goku made it to Namek in the second trip with the ship that showed up in 6 days. That Bulma, Vegeta, and Piccolo are going to be the ones to show up. That's my assumption. Um, anyway, that's pretty much it. So yeah, they're going to be there late. I don't know how much later, but I'm pretty sure Goku's going to meet Pansy and all that stuff in the demon realm, and probably going to be introduced through Glorio, or maybe it'll be someone that Glorio knows that he didn't know was part of the mission. Who knows? We'll see. I have no real theories about Pansy, but we'll see when we get there. I assume that's going to be next episode. But anyway, that's pretty much my review for it. Overall, I don't think this episode was that bad. In my opinion, it was actually better than the last episode. The previous episode just seemed to be a bunch of like coincidences just to get the wish made and to allow the Goma, King Goma, to really have his plan. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention Shenron straight up cut him off. The dude obviously wanted his 3 wishes, and his first wish was to turn everybody to kids, and then the second wish he was gonna ask for the third eye relic or whatever, third eye artifact or whatever it was that apparently makes the Demon King super powerful or whatever. And he didn't get that because Shenron basically just told him like, nah, bro, I don't really know you like that, so you only get 1 wish, and then he left. Very strange. But that also means that they're going to get more time, less time, and before the Dragon Balls are restored, like a third of the time, actually. So that's pretty much going to be it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.